Our third match of the night, our third PvP of the night. Who needs anything in their life but Protoss versus Protoss? Certainly not us. The upper left-hand corner of, once again, Oceanborn. It's the third time we've seen this map tonight as well. We have herO in the red trunks. His opponent in the lower right-hand corner in the blue. It's Classic. We'll see if Nightmare wins the other side of the bracket to give us a PvP finals, or if Dark can edge him out and maybe allow us to cast something other than this matchup. I don't know. There's something fun about just casting one matchup all night, though. Even as I was just saying earlier how much I get tired of PvP, I don't actually cast enough StarCraft these days to get tired of any matchup, I think. But Classic and herO usually give us a good match. Doesn't look like anybody's proxying in this game. I think Oceanborn does give us quite a few macro games, so wouldn't be too surprised to see quicker expansions from these guys. But with these two, you really just never know where we're going to be going in the game, which is why they're really making sure to scout each other here. You can't trust your opponent in PvP to not just do something super cheeky at any given point in this matchup, especially when it's herO versus Classic. See, even as herO's posturing to take a base and has the Zealot coming down, I'm like, I don't know, I don't trust it. But it's kind of interesting, though. They're both going for a 1-gate expand. Because they're both blocking the other player, they're going to go for the Stargate. But this is what we saw Classic do. It's really funny how this is adapted, at least in the Korean meta. I don't know if this is happening in the European meta as well. But we used to see the 1-gate Cybercore Stargate on the low ground. MaxPack still does that, as far as I know, with the low ground buildings. But it looks like in the Korean meta, they've decided to just basically do the exact same thing, but up on the high ground. We saw Classic do this earlier today in his first matchup against Creator. But it's interesting to see them both doing it against each other here. Oh, and it's Phoenixes. Of course it is. It's a 1-gate expand. Of course it's Phoenixes. And they both know it's Phoenixes, so we're just going to be chrono boosting out Phoenixes for a little while here. This is, as much crap as I like to talk about PvP, this is my favorite kind of PvP, is Phoenix versus Phoenix. Because it just builds to an unreasonable level. What I really love is seeing somebody try to not go Phoenix versus Phoenix in a game that's already like settled. Like this, we're already chrono boosting out Phoenixes. If somebody tries to stop doing it now, there's this like really weird vulnerable spot they put themselves in. So we'll keep an eye out for that. If anybody drops the Twilight Council down, tries to, wean themselves off of Phoenix production. Classic is not doing that, though. There's the second Stargate. And herO also going for a second Stargate. We're in it now, boys. We're in one now. You better start believing in Phoenix versus Phoenix, Miss Turner. You're in one. This is the good stuff. I know we've seen this enough recently where it's like a little bit less exciting now. Phoenix versus Phoenix, though, used to be very common in this matchup. And then, God, when was it? There was a specific change. I think it was the shield batteries can heal lifted units change. I feel like that was the patch where we saw it just kind of fizzle out, and then everybody's gone Blink Stalkers. That was like 2017 or 2018. That was so long ago. And I just kind of missed the Phoenix versus Phoenix. Here we go, though. Already having a bit of a scuffle here pretty early on. And that goes much better for Classic, who I think killed 2-1. And he is now chasing these Phoenixes to the corner as herO is trying to escape. But there is no escape. With some nice micro, it looks like herO should trade just one more to one more. But overall, that is a better trade for Classic, who also had a slightly faster second Stargate. So he's just going to, theoretically, should be able to just hold that Phoenix lead. As I say that, yeah, it does look like, okay, he's got a slight lead there. Just a little bit earlier on those next two Phoenixes. The one thing about Phoenixes is they do not kill buildings. They cannot do anything to buildings, so you can just kind of freely take these bases and put down pylons out on the map. This is exactly what we're seeing herO do. Of course, they can pick up the probe, but lifting up units is actually really dangerous in Phoenix versus Phoenix. Because if your opponent just happens to be nearby, you could just miss that entire first volley of shots, and in an even Phoenix battle, that's game over. The game just ends. You miss that first volley. It's kind of insane. But now we're getting into fleet beacons. I miss the Phoenix versus Phoenix. The crazy thing is this game's going to end in like 4 seconds later on. There's probably going to be like one big engagement, and then the game will just end. Any Impulse Crystals a little bit earlier for herO. Are they still both just on 2 Stargates? They are. Okay. Okay. I feel like I would expect a 3rd Stargate to go down pretty soon here. Ooh. herO's trying to swap into carrier production. Classic has not done that just yet. And I don't know if he's going to. He's going to drop a 3rd Stargate. I feel like Classic might just stick with Phoenixes. This gives Classic a big opening, but he has to know about it. And that's the thing, is how do you find out about this? How do you take advantage of the fact that your opponent has stopped Phoenix production and won't have these carriers out for like 2 full rounds of Phoenixes? herO cannot posture out here. This is super dangerous for herO. He needs to stay by shield batteries and just like, oh, no cannons is so painful. I feel like a couple of cannons in the mineral lines here would help him out tremendously, but he hasn't gotten to the stage where he can afford that yet. I think Classic has realized that herO can't really hang. Now, as the carriers come out, they can help out the Phoenixes quite a bit, of course, but they're a lot slower. So Classic can still take advantage of the fact that he's got the more mobile force here. With, what is it? Yeah, 18 Phoenixes to 10. But as they do macro, we do see triple carrier production now from Classic. He's going to be just a bit later to those carriers. herO, though, not building any more carriers right now. Just building a mothership, getting a 4th Stargate. It looks like herO is also quicker on the +1. I'm not sure exactly how impactful those upgrades are in Phoenix versus Phoenix and like air battles in general. I feel like I have a pretty good sense of how useful they are in ground armies. I imagine they're pretty good for air armies. Phoenixes shoot kind of a lot. Interceptors shoot a ton. So I would imagine +1 is very good for interceptors just because of how often they fire. So having that upgrade lead, which is going to be pretty significant here for herO. We haven't seen +1 startup at all for Classic. It looks like it's going to be at least 1 full upgrade ahead for herO. Classic, though, going to take advantage of the fact that herO is away and just kill a ton of probes. Ooh, but has he overstayed his welcome? He goes for the recall, and he is just going to lose a bunch of Phoenixes here. Not really the end of the world, actually. I like that trade for Classic. As we're getting up to 150 supply, he just takes a nice economic lead. And, I mean, yeah, he loses a few Phoenixes, but in the grand scheme of things, those Phoenixes kind of fall off in value later on anyway. So I'd say a good choice from Classic. He still has more Phoenixes than his opponent, and it's pretty much the same now, but it looks like herO's going to try to attack in. It's 4 carriers to 4. One of Classic's is brand new and fresh, but Classic's Mama Ship popped out just now as well, and he's going to start pushing forward a little bit. There's the cloaking field activated on both of them. He's armies are so evenly matched right now, but herO does have that +1 finished, and it only just now started up for Classic. Interesting, we don't see herO starting up +2. Sticking with the +1 for now. All right, Cloaking Shield is done. Guardian Shield gets popped now for herO. Oh, that's so cute. I love the Guardian Shield with the Air Army. Such a sick move. The Oracle to spot the Observer. Takes it down. herO does want to try to dive in. There's Guardian Shield on both sides. Time Warp's going down to try to slow this army down a little bit as herO is kiting these units backwards. I think this is going better for herO. I think that +1 is really coming into play, not to mention those Time Warps slowing down half of Classic's army. And now herO is just turning around. He's fighting. He's going to target down these carriers as he's killed enough of the Phoenixes to just ignore them. And herO is taking a fantastic fight. And I think that's it. One fight is really all you get in these games. There's the GG. herO takes the better fight. 11 minutes of building and harassing, but mostly just building. And herO takes the one fight that they get. Yeah, good Time Warps. Good kiting. I think he was just constantly pulling back, killing either Interceptors or Phoenixes that came a little bit too far forward. I think herO was fighting with most of his army when Creator was only fighting with parts of it at a time. And that was the real winner there. The problem for Classic is that, like, once that fight starts, you can't really not take the fight, you know? Like, the fight's here. herO wants to fight, you just got to do it. So you end up a little bit stuck, even if it's not going super well for you. We're going to Crimson Court for game number 2. Finally, in our third best of 3, getting one of the newer map pool maps. They're not even that new anymore. I just want to see them. Maybe we'll get a nice Phoenix versus Phoenix on this map too. One can only hope. Spawning in the lower left-hand corner of Crimson Court, we have our red Protoss herO. Up 1-0 after the Phoenix battle. His opponent in the upper right-hand corner, it is Classic. Classic has looked quite strong the past year or so, but I feel like herO has proven himself to be the best or one of the top 2 Protosses, depending on your opinions on max packs. I think they're both very close in skill to each other. I did notice earlier when I was seeding this tournament that Stats is actually the 3rd Protoss ranked on Illigulag, which I think, I mean, first of all, there are not many Protosses in the top, like, 15. But it is cool to see Stats, after pretty recently coming back from his military service, getting so high up in the rankings. And he's been looking really good, too. He's had some really strong games, some really strong matches. And speaking of which, Trap is back, too. Trap just announced that he is returning to competitive gameplay after being in the military for the last, I don't know, 18 months or so. I know Gemini's very happy about that, but I think like missing Trap and Stats for so long, and then Zest as well, who's been now gone for a good while. I feel like that's really hurt the high-level Protoss scene. There's been a lot of talk about, like, Protoss, you know, maybe needing some help. But I feel like people underestimated just how important it is that the top Protosses, just a lot of them haven't been around over the last few years. And we were missing herO before that, too. So, like, the last few years, the Korean Protoss scene has not been at full at all for years. I think that's pretty impactful. But we're kind of getting all the boys back now. Like, all the boys are coming back. I think that bodes well for Protoss. Also, maybe, you know, some changes are good. Maybe some positive changes for Protoss would be good, but in general, I'm excited. Now, Classic's getting a little annoying here. herO going for a triple sentry opener. This is so silly. This is so silly. He's playing Ring Around the Rosie. He's going to get it. Ring Around the Sentry. Gets the 1 sentry. Oh, now the Oracle's coming in. I don't really know how this works anymore. Turns out Oracles are still pretty good. And herO is going to lose all 3 of his sentries. And this Oracle should be able to kill a few probes now as well, before anything else happens. But oh my god, herO is warping in on the other side of the map. Classic has not spotted that. Oh, Jesus. I don't know what got canceled over here. I think it was a Robo, but it might have been a Twilight Council. And herO is just going to try to get in. Oh my god, he's walled off, which means he can cancel this at any point he wants. Oracle's coming back, trying to kill these warping in Stalkers. It's slow warp in, so they will actually get one. I don't know why herO... Oh my god, he's going to warp in the base? Oh, he's an insane man. The probe's coming in for the surround. Shield battery's going down, herO! He's a god amongst men. He's a god amongst men. All right, there's a cancel on 1 shield battery. The probe doesn't get killed. Jesus Christ, herO. This is incredible. Classic has 2 more pylons going down. I was the only shield battery. I thought there was a second one. These are 2 classic pylons. So reinforced to get this this gateway back up. But herO's got 3 more Stalkers from the low ground. And he is pushing this back. He's going to kill that pylon again. And herO warping it up on the high ground now. Oop, the Oracle's going to turn on. Should be able to get one of these Stalkers. The Void Ray is out. And turn on Prismatic Alignment. herO kills his own pylon to get into the base to hit this this Void Ray. He's going to kill the Void Ray. The Oracle's doing as much as they can. They don't do a ton to get Stalkers. Is it going to be enough, though? No, it's not. herO breaks through. He's insane. But he just does it. He just does it. Incredible gameplay there from herO. What an opening. The like triple sentry, he loses them all. He's got a Nexus, and then it's like, nope, 3 gate, proxy gate. We're warping in, we're going for it. I'm gonna build a shield battery on your high ground using the pylon that I built to block your ramp. Beautiful stuff. That's what a herO build right there. I don't think I've seen a more herO build my entire life.